ZywOo versus Donk, I think we need to highlight Shiro's impact. You know, 1.42 rating at the event, 1.48 for Donk. Both the two highest rated players we've gotten so far. And I think that, you know, he goes under the radar, but don't sleep on Shiro. That's the fool's folly.
He's the best sort of passive upper that we've got, and that is not a knock on his playstyle. It's exactly what Spirit were looking for when they picked him up in the first place. They used that well, but man, we don't even talk about Rops yet.
We've got limited pistols out here on the field. A turn from Apex that's going to cost him. It was a big commitment to drop into underpass like that. Still a rifle out on the field. The best gun now hits the ground. Zontic's done for. Bomb floating top mid wants contact. ZywOo multi-kill this time. So the pieces already coming together here for Vitality. We had a round previously where Donk gets his kill inside connector. Rops quickly puts him down, limits him at 1. This round, straight up, head-to-head, Rops over top of Donk.
We've got Cat sort of coming back into what's popular in the meta, where for a while it was like a lot of double connector setups, and in CS2 you can nade the connector smoke and then fight it from A site, so people are playing less heavy towards B because there are more options for the CT side. But now you have players like Rob saying, oh, I can handle ladder room by myself. I can take lots of opportunities to fight playing on Cat. And that was like the, you know, first sort of very powerful spot that got popular on Mirage. Mezzy right now is just by himself. It's an interesting spot because he's playing very carefully for himself, but Magic's obviously can't get the bomb from here. He's just looking to save. Whoa. So kind of scary commitment. Dies before time. That's the most important part, I think, here. And that'll be Vitality up 4-1.
And a clean example of Mezzy's rifling. Again, a player who has flown under the radar until this inclusion of Rops, playing better than ever and keeping his kills clean to close out the last round. So we've already got ZywOo multi-kills, Rops shutting down Donk. We've got Apex feeling comfortable and taking big risks.
He's benefited a ton, definitely, from this Rops move, just as everybody has. I mean, even for this lineup, like thinking about Apex, it was just so much experience with him, and there was so much leadership coming out of him, but it did feel like there was a mismatch of vets to younger players, and I could only feel like that job is quite difficult. But it seems like everyone is sort of maturing at the exact right moment, and Rops is that perfect balance of superstar and humility, I think, that makes him easy to slot into a team. It's actually funny how humble and not humble this roster is.
Right? Yeah. I feel like if the winning doesn't stop, that humbleness might just wear off. And deserved. Not the roster that's going to get too big for their shoes ahead of time.
Oh. Here's a moment where Rops is starting to peel back now.
Yeah, double flash setup. First one doesn't blind Rops. He'll control the spray down as Mezzy holds the line on site. So those two flashes do nothing. The two Desert Eagles, same story. Nothing found here for Spirit. It is domination out of the gate for the 5-1 lead.
Yeah, we're already pretty quickly through the first half of this game, and this is Spirit's map pick. So their feet are to the fire here. T-side Mirage. Hallie's going to get involved. They're getting stained up no matter where they go. It's a very exciting day because it's been a long time since we've had like a new sort of record get set. And, you know, 6 years since Liquid have put together their streak.
We've been very privy to a fun time in Counter-Strike where anybody can kind of win events, and it's always about who's going to lift the trophy this week. And then obviously extra emphasis on our legacy events, the Colognes and the Catos and the Majors. But for any new viewers coming out of the COVID era, nobody's actually seen an era.
And not just that, but many people argue from the armchair that it's not possible. And I don't even mean to discount that. Like, it's impossible to know. Just a lot of people, if you ask them, they'd say, I don't think it's possible. Sure. And that's like a very fair thing to question because both the game's gotten harder. So, you know, it makes sense. It's harder to have one team just be that much better than everyone else. the Nips 87-0 streak happens in 2013. Part of that is because of that special confluence of, you know, a thinner field and such a good roster with amazing players who are still in their prime. But then there's also the inclusion of MR12, which in some ways threatens the competitive integrity of the game if people doubt, you know, its viability to be consistent.
Ooh, Apex clipped this time. He's been trying to get away with that. Nice turn from Flamesy. Rops assists again. So active off this catwalk.
This should have been a way worse round already, like the fact that he got away.
Mezzi, though, he ends up getting clipped by the Opper.
There's still 3 CTs here close to mid.
Floating around, despite Spirit maybe thinking that they've been given a little bit of grace. Zontix considering the thought of just testing this A site while all that action goes down on mid.
ZywOo just walking back and forth through CT, but you can see he's really cautious about the idea that a lurk has happened.
Bit of uncertainty now confirmed by the utility. Zontix not turning towards Ticket, despite ZywOo making this loud approach. I thought maybe the steps would be heard. Zontix offers up a chance for ZywOo to chop down Chopper. Now we're talking 8 seconds. Good kill from Zontix.
Oh, he missed it.
Oh, he doesn't figure him out. And as he falls down, that's been heard, but you've gone ahead, effectively stopping the bomb plant. That's what ZywOo does.
And after time.
Kills Chopper as he tries to get that bomb onto the site, and Zontix just looks kind of headless in that moment.
Oh man, even that shoulder swing. Zontix is a guy who's known for being very careful about the way he clears angles, and he tries to go deep, but ZywOo was just perfectly tucked right there. Oof. It's crazy how much changed at this first interaction. A gift from Apex into Flamesy staying alive, and then Rops covering him. This would have been a 5v3 and then a quiet moment as Vitality figure out a way to like get back into the round. But they are just so good at covering each other at the moment.
Nah, Apex just said it best. Perfect, boys.
Yeah.
Nearly no utility here in round 8 as Spirit attempt to crack through this stellar defense, this fluid defense at that.
There isn't a gimmick here that Vitality have brought into their arsenal that is making them the most consistent team in the world. It's much like Astralis back then. I mean, looking back, you could say, well, they were the first to really bring in HE grenades, and that was paramount to their level of consistency. They were using those better than everyone else. But if you try to reduce it to HE grenades, you'd be a fool. It was every aspect of the game that Astralis were the best at. They had the best punish game, the best utility, the best comms, the best players at the same time. That's where Vitality are at right now.
The kill on Apex. There he is. Donk getting a highlight going on the entries. Suddenly that A site looks primed for the taking. So a double kill from Donk, something that I think every team has to account for at some point. But the lineup!
It's not done.
Mezzi peeks off jungle. Perfectly timed, perfectly executed, and we are just thrust right back into the even 2v2. You've got 25 seconds to find bomb.
They've got to account for Rops, too. They don't know where he's got off to. They need to go and plant soon. Shiro's got to pick what to watch, and the shot's missed.
No way he does this all. He put that bomb into the dirt. He
Rops
delayed all of it. Rops does not go for the challenge, but Chopper also doesn't go for the plant. Sitting duck. All Mezzi. 4 kills off jungle, and the rotate to Ticket is perfection.
Wow, I mean, it's the perfect chance for him to take a risk. It's a Hail Mary play from Mezzi in a moment where the round is pretty much a done deal. And after he takes out Donk, look at that. He just goes right for the swing. Oh, an unbelievable save for Mezzi. It's raining cats and dogs here on Spirit.
And that's in response to the donk factor. Just tried to highlight it, you know? Oh, you've got to get ready for this because you have to stomach these round losses is the point I'm trying to get to. Little did I know, Mr. Merryman had other ideas. Fast pounce. Yeah, they'll try to jump it with the flash. Cat presence denied. Brops head on a swivel, turns back. Multi-frags everywhere here as Mezzi gets back into the kill feed, hanging on to a thread. 10 health towards bench. Magic's alone, now hands on an AK, but surrounded. He'll try to fight his way out of this tooth and nail. It's a triple catwalk lineup and a little presence on market. But that presence is a present for Vitality because ZywOo locks it in 8-1.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, this attack is a little bit flat. It's too easy here for Vitality. It's just a symptom of too many good players at the moment. Everybody contributing. 8-1 is not the scoreline I expected. I expected this series to be close every round all the way through, and with like a small chance that Vitality are the ones who don't show up because of pressure and tiredness, and they were even referenced as being the ones who are most afraid of Spirit, of all the options that were available here. Even though Spirit haven't beaten them, there's still that sort of mutual respect across the board. But as we can see, Vitality understood the assignment today.
In some ways, Spirit's absence almost felt like they were becoming the boogeyman for Vitality. It's something you're afraid of, but something you don't get to see, something you can't prove to yourself outside of best of 5 grand finals that you can best. So would they get you on an off day? Studio environment, no crowd. Have you been lulled into this, false sense of confidence off all the wins? Or are you gonna step up to the plate with the same level of play that has got you here? So far, that is all Vitality show us. Again, ZywOo's gonna find a nade kill. An answer bounces back from Spirit thanks to Magix and Shiro. Great grenade damage, but he's still alive.
He's tanking it.
And if he's alive, he's a threat, but a missed shot reopens the possibility of taking over the A site. We're gonna get a pretty fast flank here from Mezzi.
Such 1 minute 13, Mezzi's already at their doorstep. They haven't planted. There's like no chance that they're watching this early. Right?
No way!
We'll barely get the plant off, but now they're still gonna die.
Back turn to him, Magix, 5 HP.
I'm not sure if he shot, but who cares? He's got 5 health.
Could maybe try to delay the mid play. Eventually, they're going to get corralled up towards this tight top of connector. You'd think efficient trade possibility. Rop's high health. ZywOo's going to swing it. Now they know exactly where he's at, but a smoke grenade lands in front of him. He can test that. He's so low. And luckily for him, takes no further damage just yet. Bomb planted on his side. Lineup would have been perfect. One more chance. He can't connect it. Mezzi sticks it. And Vitality are choking Spirit out of this game.
Yeah, respect to Magix for finding an option like that with 5 HP. He can't take a duel where he runs through, can't try to fight him when they nade open the smoke. Just has to believe in the lineup, and he was very close to actually picking that up. Look at this first kill out of Flamesy. He was the one player on Vitality at the start of this event who looked like he was a little off his game. That was for about 4 rounds on map 1, on day 1. It's easy to keep the energy up if you end your games faster.
Bad flash. He tried to underhand it, but it gets caught on the archway, so gift given over here to Donk 5v4.
Not the first 5v4 for Spirit.
It's crazy, but that's the biggest mistake we've seen Vitality make 11 rounds into a half.
That Apex jumping out a window play.
What are you talking about?
But even then, they couldn't win. Yes, it is scary for Spirit. They know this round's not over. They basically got, was it a 5v2 with Mezzi getting 4 kills?
At least the 5v3 because Donk got the double up connector. But no, I think you're right. I don't want to give them too much credit, but that round did feel, for a moment, unlosable. Got to be cautious of the ramp timing here. Flamesy ends up getting clipped by the Palace player. Rops finds one on mid. ZywOo, Deagle out. No way! Come on!
It's a rifle round.
He's gonna burn to a crisp thanks to Shiro. And Donk keeps his head down middle. He misses. Okay, it'll get recovered, but in the process, Apex gets the better of his teammate. Now, he's got the utility to keep Donk out of this.
He knows he's gonna swing.
Okay!
He knows.
Apex, baby!
It's Apex!
And he gets to put himself on for this. Sometimes he's yelling on behalf of his teammate, but right there, raw duel
and
versus Donk.
Real and uncharacteristic round for Donk. We take the nameplates off. Who's hiding top mid waiting for rotators? Who's losing aim duels to Apex through Con? And a Deagle shot from ZywOo that's just pure class. Apex. Wow.
And you know that he didn't go for the molly play because it was Donk. Because he knew Donk wasn't going to hide and then timing peek it. He would have, versus almost anybody else, been able to get that molly out, cross, and play a longer round. But he's got that confidence right now. Okay, you're getting picked out of the sky.
Oh man, they can do no wrong.
Chopper is 0-12 after that death. That will be the end of his half.
Having fun? I'd assume not.
Oh my. This guy's a demon.
And that's the kill that makes you 0-12.
Yeah, I want to say I haven't even noticed any misses or anything. I just looked down and see, I was like, oh, he's 0-8, okay, 0-9. And here we are.
Drops on the prowl.
Nice cover, Magics.
We've seen in these last couple of rounds, you know, Vitality feeling the confidence of establishing a score like this and the nature that they have. When it feels like anybody can bail you out of a bad spot, yeah, we're going to get some risks.
Wow, Zaiwu, he actually could save this round. They're coming to him while he's opping. I think he just spotted a shoulder as well.
Well, there's more where that one came from. Donk leads the charge. Magic's right behind him. Plus, you've got that Apartments player coming. But Mezzi, a set of helping hands that remain capable. Okay, reads it like a book with the repeat. Fully expects the next one. Dominance is all I can say. On a road to glory is what Vitality are on today. And we thought if anybody could slow them down, if anybody could maybe even stop them, that Team Spirit would have a chance. Mohan, they could do no wrong in the first half of Mirage.
It's kind of unbelievable. It's like Vitality's best day is what we just saw. 13 ADR here for Chopper. And after that last death, you got to feel bad for him. But this is the team that Vitality were most worried about. So maybe they need to be afraid of everyone because, Jesus.
Chopper.
What a level they can pull at any moment.
is looking for his first kill of the map. And he's got it.
Boom!
First one's the hardest.
On the board, baby.
They're going to go for the plant. Shiro's already close on ticket. Good damage on Flamesy as well. We'll see if that queues up a Shiro kill easy. 3 players on this ticket retake. Oh, they've let it go, but they then still find him. Apex sets that up. Shiro a little labored. Deep peek from ZywOo is man advantage here for Vitality. A second pistol win puts them comfortably 12-1 and a force buy. All that separates Spirit from embarrassment. Donk, clean as need be. 2 headshots instantly. We'll see if Apex can come forth with another clutch. Smoke towards the bomb. Time is of the essence. Knifes out, and Zontix gives good cover. Just enough to give Spirit a hope on the CT side.
He actually did the correct thing right there. Even turned a little bit, got by Zontix. That was not an easy shot for Zontix to land. He could have even shot his teammate by accident when that smoke bloom. So nice try here. Amazing retake out of CT and a first kill from Chopper. It's looking up now for Spirit. Donk's pretty much the only guy that can handle a situation like that. 2 players in a perfect double swing and potentially getting both kills.
May the game begin. Just gonna say a buy like this is limited, but after a half like that, I feel like this kind of a deagle round feels all the more viable.
Yeah. There was just a, in a game like this, there's a couple of junctures where Spirit had a good situation. That Mezzy round, for example, it's just like that moment in time was so important for Spirit's scoreline overall. And each of those situations that were good for Spirit just went the way of Vitality, just like every single time. So X Factor just came through at the right moment, and we could have definitely had a different half. Like even looking at this pistol, I was like, man, was this damn near 13-0? But it didn't feel like it. There were a lot of chances for Spirit for sure. So we'll see how they feel about it.
I'm gonna guess not too great.
Not too great. Especially if they start making a comeback and realizing that this game was possible. And I won't write them off either. It's a long road back, but Chopper's on the board.
First one's the hardest. We hit the 20-second mark. That smoke soon to fade. They're going to try their chance at just overrunning this B defense. Bomb plant here seems like far-fetched, but it's possible. Bodies all stacked up, though. They keep it clean, just as clean as Vitality converted their own pistol back on that first half, and we know where the momentum went from there.
Yeah, nothing to get excited about for anybody just yet. It's another buy comes through. Again, crazy that this is Spirit's pick. But again, who's got a better bat pool than Vitality right now, where it's like always a question of where you're supposed to take it.
That untouchable Inferno streak at the moment, just sitting in their back pocket because it's not a feature of this series. It feels like every time we talk about Vitality, we've got to talk about some kind of record.
Train would be an interesting end.
Up on the smoke is Donk, exposed and instantly dealt with. ZywOo doubles down with the AK.
That's great. I mean, as soon as they were going into the bottom of mid, they blew Donk open. I don't know if that was I don't know if he was going to phase that smoke, where that nade came from exactly, but they were watching it perfectly. Already an awkward spot. Apex down to half HP.
From that strong top mid presence to then a scatter towards A.
Mezzy's just prolonging his exit through underpass. Magix has been very aware of this game in terms of, I think, the more scary situations, putting himself in a good spot, but let's see if there's a timing swing here for Shiro or not. Yeah, there was one.
Spirit have moved it forward just in time. Chopper looks to reel back into sight. Sandwich player holds his ground. Oh, but then the second layer from Palace catches him off, so Chopper's gonna have to go incognito. Special forces from back sight smoked off his Magix. He's got no support here behind enemy lines as the other duo emerge from connector, and they're scouring this site. They're checking every corner, and eventually they're supposed to get to this one, but they let their guard down. Chopper drops bomb, pushes the clutch onto Mezzy. He's got the time. 20 seconds still to figure this out. But Chopper pulls it off as he had to.
Nice.
A triple from the in-game leader that ended the first half with no kills.
Second, third, and fourth kill right there. And Apex is tilted because you pointed out they cleared out every angle. Every single angle. Except for Ninja. Right there. The one spot that was just a catch-all position that could be safe, that really is good in the last few seconds if teams are out of time and they just don't clear it out. And Apex could have cleared it because they had a jungle smoke out there if he wanted to go wide on balcony.
Right.
But I think just vaguely looking at his teammates and how they were getting comfortable and no one was fighting them, he thought, all right, it's good.
Kind of awkwardly fell in front of Chopper as well. Just so focused on planting that bomb, but it's going to give Spirit a little more runway. You know, we talked about those critical junctures back in the first half that allowed Vitality to keep their streak going. Rounds where Spirit felt like they could win until an individual pop-off. Well, there's one for Spirit. It's an unexpected delivery from Chopper, but it's done. And with it comes a comfort zone. Lesser buy here for Vitality in the 16th round. Peek from Donk into Khan. 3 bodies in front of him, but again, Donk usually gets more than the one. He's going to be tethering off of Zontix. Expect this all map long.
Mezzi's got out.
He's at least gotten some damage in. Got to be careful there, falling back into the Deagle. This is going to cause them to scramble, to scatter back. Mezzi, huge headshot. And he's got the read on Zontix, who thinks he's got an element of surprise. Clean kill, though, crouching down beneath that Deagle. Apex a little late to this party.
Yeah, and some clean movement here for Zontix. Apex, no chance that he can figure this out unless Zontix takes the swing for him.
Yeah, notices it now, but can't find that headshot. So 3 still stand. Good team play inside mid for Spirit to hold back that avenue of the hit. Mezzi almost makes it scary.
And where are we at on timeouts now? This one's called actually for Vitality. Might be nice for Spirit, though. They can save theirs. This one will still be a journey. There's a lot more trepidation around mid from Spirit on Mirage lately. They've pulled back a bit from it, but I think their game plan has been really good because they still play close to mid and they know how to fight in the mid-round situations. We know Vitality are going to go for it too, so I'm looking forward to this round. We got 2 ops in play, Magix and Shiro. Again, he's my favorite second op on this team, not Dong.
Yeah, any round Donk has the op, it just feels criminal. We saw it really only on Dust 2 as he tried to bolster that B site with Zontix, but this far more classic. Let's see if the changeup catches Vitality off guard.
I think for a comeback where you have enough money and you're not really, if you lose, you're going to lose the game.
Right.
Having a 2-op setup is really nice for being able to keep it fresh every single round.
It's going to allow for Magis to just anchor apartments. Zontix again wants that early vision towards middle, looking to tether with top connector. Him, Chopper, and Donk, kind of the trident of holding back mid. Smoke grenade's gonna cut off the support for Zontix. We'll see how aggressive he wants to remain.
I mean, this is ending in an A split. Chopper, oh, nice one.
Yeah, sees Apex around the corner, so doesn't get away with that one. Man advantage goes Spirit's way, but Zontix oversteps. Flamesy, hot on the heels of Apex, gets the return.
Now the question is, does this one still end A? They're in such a good spot to go for the split, but with that kill on B, they want to wait this out, try to get one more rotation back in the other direction. Shiro still stands here with an op.
Retakes the real test if that bomb goes down, and 2 snipers on the field, one of which still so far removed.
Chopper's coming out to watch this. Flamesy will spot him.
Flamesy, perfect lurk, just catching Chopper's timing. Utility comes out. Donk is supporting Shiro from behind. This is a layered defense with smokes that cut off connectors, so it's full focus ahead, and Shiro's not gonna miss that first one. A little jiggle out from Palace, baits his second shot. ZywOo's on scene. Donk swings, ZywOo connects it, Opper drops, and we're gonna go 1v1 again. But it's a far removed Magix. He's able to swap over to the M4, at least lays flames to the site, is quick on the approach. So quick that he catches him. Mezzy bested in the open. Spirit's comeback keeps going.
Yes, it does. Very nice round out of Magix. And I was looking at this individual situation. Shiro's so smart to sit on default. They're the ones who do the right side site smokes, even though they opened up connector. There was a chance here that Flamesy could threaten the walk up, and then Shiro could not stand in that spot to fight for both A-Ramp and Palace. But instead, they kind of gave him the right to sit here, even though they lost Chopper inside of connector. And that's how it distilled to the 1v1. It was still a very good attack here for Vitality, but very good composure for Spirit.
With an emphasis on Shiro, because that second kill, able to get around the default plant, stop that one player out on Valk. Critical stuff.
You know, that's a moment where I think, you know, if you smoke jungle to window, you've got a situation where you block that fight off, Flamesy can have the escort up, but you smoke just right side sight, and then suddenly you're blocking off one of your options, one of your lurks.
It is wild, though, that with that smoke, he didn't even consider the threat of somebody coming stairs.
Oh, missed the timing here. You know, Apex is below as well.
Placing that smoke in mid. Man, advantage here, Spirit. They're within touching distance now. On fire and 5 away. Sontic serves up a distraction. Donk strikes within that moment. And with fire at his feet, he's got a chance to escape here. It's going to need to be another recovery of a round for Vitality if they're to win this one with bottomed out bank accounts and very little util. Smokes will not be a factor if it's execute, but it will be a part of the defense. Does ZywOo respect it? His teammate able to lurk up. It's a great distraction. ZywOo's able to emerge off that moment. He doesn't get the better of the player towards jungle, but Mezzy sure as hell will. And on 2 health, he'll plant.
No HEs.
Oh, no, 1 on Magix. But he's a late arrival to this party, and it's not even needed. Easy cleanup from the op. It is a 7th round to Spirit.
Yeah, at least they get that plant off, but Spirit looking very strong now. This is solid. The round is won, of course, inside of middle. It's a smoke timing missed by Rops as he's jumping up. He thinks he has a second to phase it, maybe get through. Maybe it just isn't prepared for them, just very closely keeping watch. But again, that's what I was saying with Spirit. They haven't been playing as aggressively inside of middle towards the top of middle lately, but they have been playing very close to it and ready for mid-round re-aggressions, which will be a nice matchup for Vitality, who are going to take openings in mid a lot of these rounds. So that 2-op setup persists. And this allows you to save a lot of ideas for rounds where you have to go 5 rifles. Those are going to look a little bit different in terms of complexion. Here you don't get to turn your brain off, but you can say, Magix, you're good. You can keep vision on B-apps this entire time. Yes. What a shoulder spot.
We saw that second op positioned here a few rounds now. Flamesy getting past it, kind of flustering Magix for a moment. Also draws Zontix back from Catwalk, where he's been such a nuisance on mid. And because there's no smoke, ZywOo's doing this unannounced.
This is fast.
This kind of a timing could surely catch Spirit off. We'll see if they do end up getting caught. No, Donk, he peeks into it, and ZywOo's position now well known. Shiro ready to recover, but again, the tethering's good. Chopper finds his, out towards mid. Flamesy connects,
insane.
And it all falls on Magix. They've managed to get up towards past and beyond.
I will never stop talking about how important of a skill being able to shoulder spot like that was. Magix is holding extremely tight in that moment. If he gets the kill, it's a totally different round. Because he takes the shot, he has to call a teammate over to come watch B with him. This weakens the A site, and that's how ZywOo knows he can take speed now. It's all because Flamesy just shoulder to shoulder. That's it. And look how organized they got this round within like 30 seconds on that attack.
This was a buttery smooth approach, coupled with a nice response out of the defense. You know, everybody brings one down with them. They just didn't realize that Vitality already had the jugular.
And it's also because Flamesy shoulder peaks from that close. If he's a little bit farther back, they might not have to call for help because it's too hard to exec behind it. But if Flash started coming over and he was the first one out, he would have got out the window. He would have been a real threat to Magic, so they had to respect it. And this will be the final timeout now for Spirit. I think they would have liked at least 1 or 2 more rounds with this double op setup where
of course, yeah.
they don't have to think differently and can rely on one angle being held for 30-45 seconds. But now it'll have to be a 5-round comeback. We've got 2 MP9s. Shiro at least has his op.
Yeah, we brushed on it quickly. Obviously, the cost you pay when it comes down to the double op. MP9s, at least the utility's still looking healthy. But it felt like that non-existent margin of error has now been tapped into. This is it. 5 map points for a Vitality that just showed us they can change up and solve problems quick.
That was such a beautiful round from so many different perspectives. That just really shows their versatility.
Speaking of which, Shiro on Cat instead of Zontix this round. An op reposition could catch them off, considering the only op towards B has been that passive Magic. Sure enough, ZywOo floating around.
Oh.
Shiro puts himself in a better place to find impact. Him and Donk hold this back.
That was awesome.
MP9s be damned. The cannons out there on the field find the impact they have to. Now Rops trying to throw out the Hail Mary. That's a ton of damage done here. Donk just stepping through the flames, but he manages to hold on. And now Apex shut out of top middle. 4 players standing for Spirit means this comeback still on.
You see how high level these mind games are? You got that molly down for someone to swing on him from the side of stairs. Donk does it, and Rops is still worried about it. And he nearly gets him killed in that same molly. But Spirit, this is all about Shiro right here. Look at this sequence. I mean, I think that's the way that Flamesy snuck up. It wasn't even guaranteed that he could be there. I don't think Magic saw full vision on him or anything. So Shiro just had to use his own intuition, make sure that he had his discretion on point and the aim as well.
Rinse and repeat, goes right back to it.
Okay! Oh, that's a message.
Sit down. Apex does a bunch of damage, still falls first.
Wow. That's a beast shot out of Shiro. Once someone got there to Delpan, you think that's it. He doesn't have angle dominance. He's just going to get peppered down, and he did. 15 health left in a must-hit scenario.
Zontix on the hunt again. We've seen this boost get caught off by the CT. And for now, Rops is just going to lock into the corner. Single smoke here for Vitality. Still, the one on connector is there, but it's limited. Oh, they read it.
Oh, what an
Still
assassin.
2 pistols out there on the field, but the double AK between ZywOo and Rops, this new duo of Vitality in 2025 that has turned heads and unlocked potential, is still alive despite Donk's best efforts, because Rops does what he does best, finds the perfect timing off of ZywOo's kill to test that back B site. Bomb is dropped, ZywOo responds. This is gonna have to be a full house between the 2 glowing pieces of this Vitality core. Magic's tasked with a clutch over top of Vitality stars. With no more nades in hand, with a comeback that felt real for a moment, he's got to somehow get them off this crossfire, and they know damn well where he is. Magic steps forth into his death, and that is the winning formula. That is Rops and ZywOo for 5, and a Mirage in their back pocket.
On the road into the history books for Vitality, Mirage serves as little more than a detour. Spirit, they tried to grab the wheel, tried to steer that direction, but greatness will not be denied.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Spirit team that has taken Vitality close every time they've played Mirage in the past in recent memory. And they tried to get it close. They tried their damnedest, but when Chopper starts out 0-12, it's going to be tough to get anything done.
T-side was a little too weak for the Spirit side. Vitality's defense there was so great across so many different places. I feel like everybody shined with a certain moment, multi-frags, key ones, and Spirit, the only thing you can be happy about is the comeback that you had in the second half. It was a good attempt, but man, they just dug themselves into such a deep hole.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about everybody shining, MOUZ at the bottom in terms of ADR, but he had so many key moments, key rounds, especially in the first half. They struggled in the second, but the first half, every single player on Vitality showed up and dominated.
And a number that also won't be reflected, when things were starting to turn against Vitality, MOUZ kept managing to eke out bomb plants that just sustained them past the burst of Spirit rounds.
I think at the very end there, it wasn't even a perfect buy from Vitality's side. Maybe a couple pieces of utility that were missing. They had decent weaponry, but yeah, no, that's a great observation, Mike. The fact that they kept the pressure on Spirit the whole time. It wasn't really any, maybe one of those rounds for Spirit on the comeback were purely clean.
Now, there was a round here that we wanted to take a look at, round 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I want to take a look at round 7 because this is why Vitality is a dominant team when it comes to Mirage. When they go for this mid control, even when they have the wrong read, it still manages to work out just fine. Flames and Robs, they have the 4-man contest in the mid, and then you have ZywOo on the rotation into CT spawn. And despite this kill, Zontix, he doesn't notice ZywOo, he doesn't get the clear, but he doesn't have time. 7 seconds on the clock. Even if he gets this kill, he doesn't have the chance to win the round. And look at the patience from ZywOo. He waits out the clock, at 0, peeks out, gets the kill, so Zontix is broke into the following round. It just makes it that much harder, and that's why ZywOo is such an incredible player. He has the patience to wait that extra second.
There were so many times in this game where what ZywOo was doing, just barely not peeking. It's like they're so in the heads of Spirit, knowing exactly what kind of angle they need to clear to get that next in, and they just don't give him it. It's great Team CS.
Now, we heard in the pregame, Vitality were trying to downplay it, right? ZywOo, Flamesy, we're not thinking about the streak, it's just the game in front of us. Based on the form they came out in, based on the shots they were hitting, based on how raring to go, I would say that was a load of bullshit.
They did look charged up today. The reactions in the cameras too, when some of the, like we have in the green room access to all the cameras, we can see their faces at all times. Like the joy that they're inspiring in each other, especially in round number 8, where they were able to claw one back. Like these are the kind of moments where even ZywOo let out a huge grin. Like I couldn't, like, sometimes you see greatness from your teammates, Vu, but like in this kind of round, for MOUZ to be the savior, like ZywOo was thanking him. Yeah,
I mean, this is one of those rounds where it's kind of like the backbreaker. You would think as Spirit, you get a close round, you bring it into the next one, you go up 5v2, and MOUZ manages to he pulls off the ace here, right?
Yeah, I mean, he gets, I think Rop's on the very last one, the 4K for MOUZ, but it was just the triple kill, like the lineup that he found, the timing there on the rotation, and then he was able to get the kill through CT. I mean, that was just a fantastic way to claw it back. We saw a good team CS from Vitality, as Vu pointed out in round 7, but the individual heroics from people like MOUZ is why it's pick your poison versus them. If you can lose to good team CS, or you can lose to the individuals having pop-offs.
Yeah, we can reiterate, this is the lowest ADR on the team. It's not the lowest frags, you go 16 and 13, but this is, in theory, your 4th star right ahead. This is your 4th star, and he's still pulling off games like this, rounds like this, 4Ks like that, bringing your team back.
Most people wouldn't even consider the 4th guy on their team a star in any capacity, but MOUZ somehow elevates himself to become one in these late round clutch moments.
That's just what Royalty does. That's just what Royalty does. If we're looking at the other side of the coin, right? Spirit came out and got run over in those first few rounds, and even though they managed to mount something of a comeback, it felt like it was just catching a falling knife, right? That was never going to end on Mirage. Did they do enough to make you think they're going to have a chance to put a stop to this as we go forward on the nuke?
Magic's did enough. I mean, at some of the rounds that he was tasked with attempting to win, the 1v1 he won at the stairs where he was able to take down MOUZ, like, I'm glad that the observer turned off X-ray for that one, because you see Magic's head for a pixel for like half a second. The next time you see it, he's dead. So Magic's definitely warmed up. We wanted him and Zontix to show a little bit of just something here. Zontix, okay, like a meddling performance for him, but I feel like Chopper's got to look in the mirror too and say, okay, how could I have an entire half of 0 kills? Like, he's not supposed to be the fragger, but you are supposed to contribute.
Yeah, I mean, in Chopper's defense, he did have the kill where he jumps around a top mid smoke and ZywOo just kills him straight through the smoke. There are rounds where things go wrong, but you have to find a way. You have to find a way back into it. That's why people give so much respect to Apex, because Apex will lead in those moments. He'll find a way to make some impact, make a call that gets you back into it, and Chopper just couldn't do it this time.
I mean, greatness requires overcoming those obstacles. It is rising above those challenges that impresses us, that makes you a legend. And a guy who was an absolute legend in this one, right? He's the newest addition in. Rops, he felt unkillable for the first half of the game.
He was practically unkillable. The antics that he was getting up to towards middle, the way that he was able to tether around the other players that he was fighting with at mid, it made taking space for the Spirit side so difficult. Like, he's just never going to give you anything for free. He finds these great timings, and even when he has to pivot to help the B-bomb side, him and Mezzi were a great duo to defend that side too.
Yeah, when it comes from Rops, it's impact. He's got impact across the map as the short player. He's calling his B player over. They're making impact in mid. They're dueling. And as you said, it's the timing. When he groups up with teammates, when they go for double peaks in mid, he's always there at the exact moment to go for the trade, to go for the peak. It's never a second off, and that's what makes it so easy to play with this guy.
He's just complete. He's just complete. I mean, there are no flaws from what we saw in Vitality, right? Maybe that moment of allowing to come back in. But the question is, how do you overcome what seems to be perfection? I mean, if it's not Rops, if it's not Mezzi, if it's not Apex finding a way, it's ZywOo, the chosen one, making it happen in the server.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to any chance for Spirit, they need to show up like they did in the second half, because we did have Shiro showing up. We did have Magic showing up. Unfortunately, Zontix was kind of a little not at his best, but at the same time, we did have flashes of brilliance from Spirit. And if you have Donk, Shiro, Magic showing up, absolutely you can at the very least make it a close game in the following map.
ZywOo, with multiple moments in this game, not only showing the individual ability, but just the recognition and understanding of how to play off of teammates. I mean, Vu showing round number 7 where ZywOo just tucks in to kill the guy after time, knowing like he's so complete also because he gets the kills, but he also plays for the objective so well. It's like you're never asking him to, hey, why aren't you peeking? Why aren't you trying to get something done here? Like initiative is not something that ZywOo was lacking in this game.
The crazy thing about ZywOo is we've always questioned over the years, you know, when can he get that extra gear? Because his baseline is the best of anyone, the most consistent, the most replicable CS you can see, where he just plays safe, he just makes the right play, he makes the right move. You can never question that from ZywOo. It's always been, can you make the next move? Can you make the next gear? Can you carry your team? And he's been showing it all year. He showed it here.
When the baseline is greatness, when the baseline is excellence, when the standard is the best of all time, how do you rise above that? Well, that's a question that Spirit is going to have to answer, because in the race into the record books right now, it is Vitality in pole position as they look to cement their legacy with 24. It was dominance on Mirage, but if Vitality want to move on into this grand final with a clean 2-0, want to move up in the history books with 24, then here on Nuke, they have to overcome Spirit, and last time, it may not have gone quite to plan.
Last time Spirit picked it up 13-5. Now, the time before that, Vitality might have found the win, but the thing to keep in mind is that every time these teams have played, they've been close on Mirage. Vitality has a dominant win on Mirage. It's making me a little concerned for Nuke.
It does in the competitiveness of this series today, but at least Spirit can look in the rearview mirror at Lisbon and say to themselves, we were able to win with a dominant CT side of our own. I also imagine that Vitality looked back at some of that footage and said to ourselves, why did we try changing up our outside yard control? Because they were throwing some extra utility on it. They were throwing this unbreakable smoke, which Apex kept trying to lurk through over and over again. And I think this time they're just going to simplify things a little bit more. And in our favorite words of most players, they're going to play more of their own game instead of trying to change it up too much.
Their own game.
Yeah.
Their own game. How would you define Vitality's own game on Nuke?
It's still the variety of cross smoke, sometimes the far ones, sometimes the diagonal ones. But it's just that I kept seeing them try to throw this extra little smoke that Apex would try to lurk to try to get beneath heaven, and they would just shoot him for doing that. So I think that this time around, if they just go for the more standard approaches, just the 2 outside, 3 go ramp, try to split B, I don't think that their execution needs to be reworked here.
Yeah, and when it comes to that exact play, that's a play, you know, I've seen a lot of teams against Spirit find a lot of success attacking ramp. It's very popular in the meta today. Attack ramp, 4 or 5 players on some fast plays, 2-3 times a half, once in a while. And Zontix is just, he's been struggling in this event. He's been struggling in this series. I think he's going to struggle on this map as well.
That's a concerning point for sure. Meanwhile, if we look at it, if you were Halley, if you were trying to lock Zontix in, if you're standing behind this team after what happened on Mirage, what would the messaging be? What would you be telling them to get them locked in and ready for Nuke?
Unfortunately, I think they just need to reset. They need to kind of forget the first half of Mirage. They need to move back to what they had on that second half and talk to the players and realize you showed promise. You showed something, you showed your level, and if you bring your level in this second game, you absolutely can take them to map 3.
I'd want to see Zontix play to fall sometimes. I feel like he sometimes commits a little too hard to the ramp fight. Like he plays that right wall so often to try to get a multi-kill, and lately he's been getting 1 or even 0. So I would like him to just lightly adjust his approach because the outside yard stuff was good last time. Chopper played well, Donk played well, Shiro even did well. It's just that Zontix has a recently poor string of form, and if he gets abused at ramp, and if Vitality are able to get 24 because of Zontix, that mistake is going to loom over his head, and it's going to be like he tried nothing different at all.
Yeah, I think when Zontix plays to fall, he does a really good job, and sometimes he finds one, but recently it's been in the meta. You try and find that kill because losing ramp control, it's not easy to win the round, and he really does struggle, like you said, when he tries to go for the kill and then drop. He doesn't get it.
24 is on our minds. 24 is on the horizon. And in just 24 rounds, we might have our answer. What's it going to be, Scrawny and Launders?
I don't know, Mike. I'm no fortune teller, but in the nature of that first half, it felt like it was destiny, an inevitability to beat Spirit in this head-to-head. I like the fact that Spirit brought the fight back in the second half because I think even Vitality would want to have to fight for this historic moment.
Yeah, it's true. I think we expected this game to be close. I mean, they could have played any team today and set the streak versus them, but versus Spirit, the one team that has been the boogeyman, the one team they still beat, but is probably the hardest of the ones left that they haven't beat constantly in the last couple of weeks. This is the one test that we were expecting to be the hardest. And I mean, they passed with flying colors, and that's amazing in and of itself back on Mirage. So now we go into their map pick, and we find out if this will be any different here for Vitality.
It's the utility for the door. Going to give Donk something to look at, something to think about, and he falls back. Here's that presence outer. Waterfall smoke for main. Okay, tapped out of the round. Down goes Donk. Shiro going to follow suit. That deadly Zywoo P250. A thing of class. As Rops has already got out ramp. Dude, okay.
He pulls off that lurk all the time.
Just played with. Right? You get Donk to fall away from the door. He understands that it's going to be an outer hit, 1 tap. Support from heaven, 1 tapped. Rops slides through in absolute perfection. And it is a flawless pistol yet again.
It's amazing, man. I mean, they've just such good fast defaults right here. That Rops lurk, we're going to see that happen a lot, but it's like a matter of protocols and branching options here where Rops knows if you get the 2 kills outside, they have to pull guard on ramp. That's the one place you can't plant on an instant attack, and here's where it goes wrong. Rops knows immediately that he can get out, and even when they come back to check it, he's just so in tune with what option he should take and what timing that, wow, just gets out of there. It's a great round just from the perspective of shots as well. ZywOo already on a tear. Sometics will feign the run back to Turnpike. Vitality just chill. I don't know if there's the thought that they want to go back outside or if they just want to check it and come back inside. Well, looks like they're just aiming to throw cross smokes to block vision, not expecting a secret start, and then maybe taking it back to ramp.
Looks like a good read. Spirit not very equipped to disrupt it. That Shiro frag grenade still held on to downstairs, so by putting a couple pieces lower, ZywOo's gonna meet some resistance. And he falls.
Oh.
Now, one half of this lower hit gets cut off. Desert Eagle damage also pretty key.
Now you go heaven. Saw those players downstairs. 3 now have to get back up through ramp. Magic's outside. A site's open.
Yeah, can do nothing about holding back site. Could have challenged from main, but they would have just been behind the site silos, so really nothing they can do to stop the plant with that early rotate. They made their bed, and now Magic's put to it. Rops right there with another. We definitely hit a point back on the first half of Mirage where some of the confidence was boiling over, the style points were looking to be earned by Vitality, because they really could do no wrong. But be cautious in writing off Spirit at the start of this one. There's an AK to be saved here for Zontics. That's big, but we'll see if he gets away with it. I thought maybe the Heaven player would keep him at bay from running towards CT spawn, but it looks like AK saved onto, and maybe Chopper does more here. Mac 10. Damage is good, and it gets him. Mezzi dies to the bomb in the end, so it's actually a better weapon saved by Spirit than Vitality.
Yeah, so right there after that smoke on ramp, I mean, Vitality are like, all right, fine, we'll make this a proper round, but they're willing to go through the right processes. And ZywOo understands the game plan exactly. Like, he's the one who goes so fast that he's not setting himself up for a lurk when they fully commit down ramp. He's the one to actually scout and understands I can get a kill or die, but I'm going to be the one to show everyone what's the least stacked site. So either he runs through there, gets the kills, and they go plant, but they had options to do both.
Fast one. Okay, here's a bit of a tempo in the first gun round. Oh, Magic's, no way. Whoa, him and Chopper. 3 kills from the 5-7s, then Dog's AK comes out, sit down on it. Chopper, half health left over, just mows them down with a sidearm.
Yeah, the 5-7, baby. Okay, nice hold. Vitality after that last round and the one before that with all the perfect moves, they decide to throw a haymaker to the upstairs site. And here's just Chopper mowing him down with a 5-7, no problem.
We have this AK out on the field. Dog just the sole rifle, not even needed. You want a piece of that A site, it's gonna have to be a little more meticulous than that. Early pill to swallow here. Vitality limited, and Shiro with an op in hand gets the better of ZywOo.
Nice clean shot. Some util on him too.
This first half does not look like it'll be nearly as lopsided.
It was the Vitality versus Wildcard game. You called exactly how many rounds they would get over the course of 2 maps. 9 rounds, you said, and it was 9 rounds on the dot. I won't ask you to spoil this game, though.
I'll keep it to myself. Interesting. Apex suddenly he tests slower off that. Missed op shot, Flamesy Tech9 trying to go right back at it. Vitality can flood lower. There's nothing down there to stop them.
They lost full control.
Oh my.
Wow, that one kill, man. Chopper going down. He had him dead to rights on secret.
And Apex picking up the one gun that was out there on the field. Does Spirit want to try to take a chance at this?
Well, no one's even coming to help Rops. They could come clear this out, but you see Donk just knowing that they are going to sit back and let this round be won from Vitality. It is that kill from Apex getting it into secret, and I don't want to go past that point because Apex was being waited for. Chopper had a great fight for him as he was coming in. And Vitality are the ones who don't have much utility. They were just going to be like, let's follow some frags, and they went out ramp through a good flash as well. But there was nothing complex about this round from Vitality.
Terrorists win.
Just one key frag.
Well, excuse me, I spoke too soon. Vitality never gonna make this one easy. Silver lining for Spirit. Obviously, money's still good with the majority save and the way they got those guns in the first place. But I don't think that silver lining is going to make them feel any better with having just missed a golden opportunity for early CT success. Gotta forget about that and move on. Oof. Had the first shot on him, too.
Man, it was a nice kill there from Apex. It's just not one that Spirit could afford in that spot. There's only ever one team in the world that is the ceiling of the game. Right now, that's Vitality. MOUZ would be on an equivalent match win streak, or would have been, if not for Vitality just beating them 5 times in a row. They were up to 16 or 17 if not for those Vitality wins.
Falcons in a similar boat.
Yeah, now they're coming up too.
The inspiration and aspiration of everybody else in this community. Well-timed flank here from Zontic. Sees the barrel of Mezzi. Oh, but Rops turns.
That's so troublesome. Oh, the shot's missed. It's a tough one, but that was a big chance.
Donk gets flashed. He tries to go back towards that outer support, and in that moment, Apex gets the drop on him, is able to get into the cover of Garage.
Oh, they keep getting away with this.
Magix will continue to hunt, but all the
They keep
while,
getting away with this.
that A site's gonna be primed for the taking. Zontix tries to climb back up the ladder to stop it, but it's already compromised. Utility can maybe slow it down, but Mezzi's gonna keep this one clean. He gets his frag, manages to stand on 11 points of health, and Magic's just dropping that utility belt to try to keep them off of the front of the site. Mezzi already out there with bomb, and you've got Rops just lurking down beneath you. They're a little limited, and that third piece is Chopper, who will soon arrive in a similar avenue.
God, their micro is so buttoned up. I cannot believe they're finding space in these moments. 3 players retaking from heaven here.
One flash for Rops. It's guns up. It's a quick wave, and it's 2 kills, but it's Zywoo. And so he shaves one off, dives back into the hut for a second, comes back in, and he will be denied by Chopper. They pick up the slack with what is an all-in impromptu heaven swing.
Speaking of button-up micro, that's really nice. It can be so awkward to get out of heaven at the same time, and then the depth of all the angles below you can really trip you up in moments if you're not ready, but they do a good job of watching all the right positions. 2 players below in this spot, too. That was actually a beautiful retake out of Spirit. I mean, I was just shocked to see Vitality get that far in this round. They even hit Donk with the flash behind Credit Card, had him run a few steps. Apex somehow wins the duel, then he gets away.
Apex doing a good job so far.
Just trying to make sure they're not going to push secret this round. Donk's an interesting spot, though, because you know he's impatient.
Yeah, he keeps trying to change it up slightly.
Most people wait 45 seconds before they take a jiggle. I feel like he's going to wait 15. We've got the inner exec maybe when Apex gets up to the roof. Or they've got all their nades ready to go.
Set it ablaze and follow through.
Oh, the molly's perfect.
Sontics just crispy. Magix leans back, sight. Can't manage it as Flames, he just keeps it rapid. That extra mobility as he swings it round, and Donk fails to open up the smoke, so he doesn't get any kind of an angle to stop ZywOo nor peel a player off site. Looking like 5 rounds back and forth unless Spirit somehow up and man advantage in a post plant. And how do you even get Chopper out of that vent? Perfect flash. Donk has been neutralized as this half has gone on, eating utility and getting bested.
I mean, they're not just offhanding flashes. That's perfect. There's no way for Donk to avoid it. They have the setup for that. There's pressure no matter what, even when it's your time to try to play, man. This is perfect CS out of Vitality. They mollied Fur. They didn't even molly Mustang. They have that everything covered.
Terrorists win.
They're just riding that tightrope of good fundamental CS and liberty in the individual moments as well. Freedom to take lurks and peeks and fights whenever they want to. This is the definition of a well-oiled team.
It's like a pack of wolves, the way they just run rampant through that site. Hungry to overwhelm and uncontrollable, but we get all the economy on the line here for Spirit. Auto shoddy in hand for Magix. A common sight on top hut when the money gets low for Spirit. And Apex has been present outside, if not on his own. In a round like this, he's got multiple bodies. You've mentioned the amount of pressure he's kept on those secret stairs. Well, there is an op down there this round. Shiro awaits, and just in time puts himself ahead of what was looking like a rapid pace from Apex. But Apex is not alone. 2 players follow, and while Shiro leaves. But a loud drop from ZywOo, that's going to give it up.
Yeah, they thought Shiro was sitting here, which means they are ready for an op. Oh, he's found the alert opportunity. Yeah, and Rops make a bit of noise, but this is an unnerving moment for Shiro because he doesn't have a teammate to join up with right now.
Considering it, peeking, not yet into the angle. Rops not only gets out into ramp room, but then readjusts and takes a little longer. Now Chopper's suddenly gonna find himself on full display. 2 players close right. He still hits the dink, but they survive. You've got ZywOo low. There's Rops, an arrival on the B site. Shiro just desperate now. We'll see if the other CT can pick up that Rops kill. No, sir. And while Shiro drops Mezzi, it is still man advantage for a Vitality post plant yet again.
Yeah, this one they got fully outclassed. They didn't have the adjustments. Shiro felt like was the only one who had the correct idea about how to play that situation. I mean, Chopper was in a fine spot over in Vents, but you know, this is a very bifurcated defense. They were just both on their own. Not able to make the most of a hold together. Is this possible? Okay.
You take it.
Auto shotgun comes in. Oh, protected by Flames.
Standing out there in the open like a sitting duck. ZywOo full trust.
It's just a big bait.
Sontics with a kit. Would have loved for Magix to have picked that one up. Cost effective, surely, but Vitality to 5 nonetheless. And this spree of rounds back and forth comes to a close. 5-2 on this T side, our Vitality.
So great with the way that they got downstairs. And Rops is only going to try his ramp lurk like 3 times and a half or something like that. Here's his second time. It's another successful attempt too as he walks out to nobody home. They are the ones who know exactly where Spirit are going to be in all of these situations and these defaults. They know where the holes are. They aren't running 5v5s into full execs, into stack sites. They're pushing and pulling the defense at every single opportunity that they get.
USP ramp rush. Uh-oh. Mac 10 runs dry. Okay.
All right.
Glock burst from Flamesy. Luckily for him.
Oh!
Okay.
Shot of the night, baby.
Sit him down.
besides his last op shot on Chopper on round 12 of Mirage.
Look, Donk's a little animal, but if he can't see you, he can't kill you. Apparently that is a trick only for ZywOo's guns. Ooh. His T-side starts to spiral out of control from Spirit's point of view. Had to bite the bullet in the last 3 straight for Vitality as they double the round count, and we see Spirit come back in with guns. Okay, let's see it.
It's just a tester. Head's about there. Had the audible about here.
To me, it's the fact it's a headshot as well. Couldn't have been better.
Definitely the red thread through this T side has been Vitality, like establishing secret control no matter what happens. I think that's been the biggest problem for Spirit, whether they play there or not, or Vitality take it or they don't. Even on the Antico, we saw when they got a little tested at ramp, they went back and said, all right, let's just go establish on secret first.
They go 50 damage each. Flamesy's on silo with a Mac 10, brother. If you tell him to go, he will, all in. As far as peeking Shiro, though, my money's on the op.
Let's see, we don't have a mini player, right? So this can be a question of if Shiro gets blind when they use him to drop, but like he can't see anything from here. Yeah, if he's playing from Elige, you know, he's really good at catching lurks, but not so useful versus an upper pop with full nades.
Molly right there for the player that just came up from vent. Oh, it's just perfect utility. Zoned on the perfect timing. Chopper just came up vents.
Oh, they're going ramp.
Burned into main. Donk holds the line. There's their hero. ZywOo delayed on the re-peek. He's got Apex with him. They're reconsidering options here. They've lost track of Flamesy. Over towards Garage. It's him versus the op. Zontix and Donk on ramp 4-4.
Beautiful.
And Shiro able to finagle Flamesy, gets around him in the end. Whew. Felt like Vitality had that bigger picture, but then they step forward into Donk.
They just try to dress up this play a new way. It really felt like they could have pulled off the upper hit if they wanted to, but very nice here for Donk being at ramp at the right time. After this first kill came down, it's like, oh no, another tragedy's about to strike for Spirit, but it's just a perfect angle. And the perfect players at that. Actually read that situation quite well, didn't they?
Apex again.
Yeah, same staging, but faster. Way faster here.
Gets away with it.
Minute 30.
And he will find nothing lower until Chopper drops in vents.
Pre-smoke could definitely be wise, but you can see that like this is a little bit awkward because he doesn't feel like he can afford to commit downstairs.
He's gonna get active inside a lobby. This is being held by Mezzy right now.
This is wild because they're still holding his default.
Mezzy checks it intermittently.
And he has bomb upstairs. They know vaguely Apex crossed. They don't know if he stayed down here. We don't have anyone from Spirit moving just yet. I like that Spirit are going to reinforce the ramp, but does this just come back to upper and Apex coming up the vent is the question.
Right, Flamesy's ready to rock through main. Looks like you are dead on. Vitality gonna try to change direction here last second. Snapshot down from Magix is clean. A double kill, but his gun is empty, so he's gotta dodge away, and his teammates come out to help. Mezzy to the clutch, also empty mag.
Crushed.
A couple of spent rifles in the middle of all that carnage, but Mezzy not able to, because Magix does a great job of still drawing all the attention.
Yeah, fantastic rifling out of Magix. And even back on Mirage, even though the kills didn't reflect it, I feel like he was one of the most aware players of the map for Spirit in terms of critical moments where he got kills. So very solid. I'm sure it was scary for him knowing that last time he stood up here, there was just a carpet of fire and flashes that came along with the A attack.
Good on Shiro to close that one out. 2 shots out, 2 shots hit. No denying Spirit have been on their toes this entire half, just trying to play catch up. Can still walk away with a tied score. Apex tests the waters of this cross.
This is like, 2021 Na'Vi was, the mantra was for Electronic, if Secret is available, we go there first. Before we do anything else. It costs you very little if it's not going to be tested properly. And Chopper,
Wow.
clean find, man. Very close to dying there.
Fast reaction.
Yes, it was.
Insta-kill on Donk, though. And so Donk's had his hands full outside. Pressure's been immense. Shiro scours the battlefield. Will find nothing out there with the smokes. It's again a redirection into A. Chopper can't maintain for more than 2, but Shiro's up already on the angle with a player down beneath him.
Are they going to reroute, though?
Yes, they've got a player wrapping heaven. Apex jumps up. Now you've got Shiro's attention, surely. Zontix can catch that, though, right? Secret control ends up being key. And ZywOo down through the wall, but a missed shot on the bomb carrier. Mezzi just scrambling. If you can plant, that's one thing. Maybe a bit of money for the next one. He reads that Zontix would be the first to come at him. Mac 10 in hand, he's done for, but it's cash in the back pockets as Spirit grab another.
Oh, yeah, Spirit have had to work hard, but they're actually bringing back this half. This could have been much worse, absolutely. So, yeah, sort of a disappointing start, but 5 rounds here, very respectable, especially considering the quality of rounds that Vitality have brought. And with the ways in which Donk has died, I'm surprised that they're able to make this kind of comeback at all.
Just felt like Spirit got the better of the timings in terms of that outer fight because that smoke split it up. We see the flank from Zontix kill the player Heaven. ZywOo's got to try to go back through smoke, and then his back's exposed, so easier to hold back Vitality when you hit them when they're not looking. And it's not a round win for Vitality, but it is another effective moment of chaos, right? Spirit are trying to adapt within Carnage. And good on them for finding their footing, because for a moment this felt like a free fall. "12 rounds of Apex hitting outer. Deep wall guarantees it. This time they are coming down in full force.
It's one of those things like taking long on dust too. Even if the other team knows you're going to do it, you still get an advantage. You can still pull rotations downstairs.
We've seen times where Chopper drops that smoke and leaves.
Oh my God, they're moving so fast.
Perfect route here from Apex. He's ahead of the smoke. He just got around that corner, unspotted, unnoticed. And so quickly, a follow through, not 1, but 4 members of Vitality hit that B site. Flamesy's able to cut off the first rotate. Zontix gets his. You've got a plant down on the Astralis corner, so a nade with Mezzi's name on it, but it's just chip damage, that's all. Magix tries to find a route as well. And it goes 4 versus 2 here with a late activation out of Rops. Spirit have done a great job of trying to hang on to this half, but now it's all Zontix for an ace, and he is surrounded, so 3 kills looks great, but it's Vitality remaining in control.
Both say team. First person to say they have that played for both teams gets a point.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, liquid.
Optic.
Stanislaw.
Ah, good one, yeah. Good one. Nice, nice. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, Fnatic.
Astralis.
There has to be.
I feel like there should be. Flame F. Oh, that's
Jinx.
like the same
Jinx.
time. That's like the same time. Okay.
That took us too long.
Yeah, it did take a little bit long there. I'm thinking
3, 2, 1, G2.
Cloud9.
On the floppy roster, there has to have been somebody.
On G2, man, I feel like.
Who was on that random Cloud9, the Henry G Law roster?
No, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the Cloud, like, which Europeans have been on Cloud9? Because the early G2 was like, Body, Kenya, Shaw.
None of them went to Cloud9 though.
Smiths. No, none of them did. I don't think any of them did.
Kiyoshima was, but was he ever on the G2?
I don't
think he was ever on the G2.
No, I don't think he made it on the G2. He would have been
he actually might have been. No, he was. He was on the G2
right,
Gamers
yeah.
2 Phase Gamers 2.
Yeah, he was.
Kiyoshima.
Was Kiyoshima on G2 or was he on Kingwin or something or what?
No, I think he was on G2 because that was the problem. I'm not the problem after the Envy. Oh, it might have been Phase actually. I think it was after the Phase swap.
Let me see.
You know what? I'll give you the point. He did stand in.
He stood in. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking that for sure.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. All right, I got one.
Sure, yeah.
3, 2, 1, heroic.
North. There has to be like...
There's so many. Brain. North. Heroic.
I was looking to say AZ. I don't think he's been on heroic though.
Was Kitty never on North? No.
No, he wasn't on it. Was Careby? No. Was...
All the others are too
was
young.
MSL?
They're too young. No, MSL was never on heroic. He was on their staff.
Okay. That
I
doesn't...
think. No, he was on Astralis' staff.
No. Was Mahdi on heroic?
Snappy? Was Snappy on North? Snappy was on the old
I
heroic.
don't even know if Snappy was on North.
Was Snappy ever on North?
I don't know if Snappy was on North.
I'm just shouting Danes now.
Yeah.
Who said Cadian?
I did.
Yeah, Cadian's on North.
Was he ever on? Oh, he was. He was. Yeah, because there was the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was...
Let's go.
that
I'm
must have
kicking
been
your
great.
ass at this.
Okay, wow. You've killed me. You've absolutely murdered me. Okay.
I believe that is 3-0.
Coming back from the 3-0 deficit, is it even possible? Is it done? Is it just done? It's done.
It's done. It's
over.
done.
I got
Death
owned.
by knockout.
I
Here
got
we go.
owned. I got
the
smashed.
champ.
Effectively neutralizing Donk outside, he finds himself at the bottom of the scoreboard as Vitality and Apex chase history. This was a one-sided T-side that had a glimmer of hope for a moment there. Economic woes because of the back and forth. Ultimately, Vitality give themselves great runway to close out Nuke.
They do. I think they put themselves in a good spot in terms of the quality of play, and numerically, it's decent. I think Spirit still have hope alive. But with the way that first pistol went, you know, they're a little bit scared coming into the second half. And Donk, I don't think he gets scared, though. I think he gets mad. He'll be the tip of the spear on this attack.
Head tucked here by ZywOo. A lot of bodies here for the defense. One tap out of the Berettas. Tries to let him rip. Gets himself a second. Another Hut player. No, he gets caught. Chopper trying to recover this low health on 2 of the 3 Vitality players. And Donk very quick to reposition. He gets Apex to swing into him. Not going to let him get the better of him all map long. Heaven players already in the open. Donk's unable to catch that one, though. And so you've got a fully health Rops waiting for that timing. He strikes, but he doesn't get Donk pushed over the line. It's low health bars across the board, and now Chopper needed in a big moment here where Vitality's momentum could crush. Like a steamroller here on Nuke. They try to push it forward, and they will effectively out from main pinch that site for 8.
Oh, that's the first time you could kind of see the nervousness a little bit between both sides. Even Rops missing as much as Donk, 2 of the players that simply don't. Not on peaks like that. And that'll be Vitality taking 8 at a very critical juncture here. Yes, it's their map pick, but it already looks more competitive than what we saw on Mirage. This bait was so beautiful out of Donk. You know, because he full commits on all of his runs, you believe he is just going to strafe infinitely all the way around through Hut and go for another play, but he had it in the back of his mind. They might chase me. And after he turned around to get the kill, you thought that this is the moment that Spirit actually bring this back and maybe tie the game up. No, they'll have to wait.
The artillery sails down on ZywOo. He'll give it a headbutt. We've got a gap on that cross.
The headbutts these days are insane. That went so far.
Still able to test this, though. Zontix is going to come out through main in a second. Mezzi's just holding the open floor. He gets support at least. But Donk's got a deagle with 2 kills to it. Looking for that third one. ZywOo's his next target. Hang on. They've got it. ZywOo arrives in time. Finds 3 kills in the middle of all that chaos, but you got to give it to Spirit. They had Vitality on their toes.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I've seen Donk in these mid-round moments, like he's hitting the gas, but like he's not that little extra bit, that third kill. That would have been so critical. And another round, they could almost win. I mean, it's like the Melbourne final in the sense that, you know, Falcons blew that enormous lead. But why? Because someone from Vitality popped off each and every single round of the comeback. it almost feels unfair to just say they choked, you know, because of how good Vitality can consistently play. But okay, the X Factor keeps spilling over. It's Donk after all.
There's no world where he goes down without a fight. Put an AK in his hands, he'll find your head. But Rops may find the better of the timing.
Remember, we got a lot of 5v4s from Spirit in this match.
Off the nade as well, you just got Donk to kind of tuck into the little bit of smoke there. Did they just give Rops a pocket? He's gonna test this.
Oh, man.
Cheeky reposition here from Robin. Okay, almost two. But at least you have, again, put Donk down with only one. Zontic slips towards Vent, but Flamesy on high alert of this. They know damn well he's hiding in that corner, so they snuff him out. And then a quick reposition here from Flamesy to get ahead of a low-health Shiro.
It's another kill. He gets a kill and a reposition. They get back the man advantage and material positioning.
Is he worried? Absolutely. Presence of mind here from Flamesy to get man advantage. Tested, but not bested. As these gun rounds could be few. Chopper is down beneath Mezzy. What is their avenue of attack? Looks like a potential ramp join up.
Apex committed on the floor, man. In a late round situation, this spot is deadly. Even though it's out in the open, they can't scale on both sides of the catwalk. They will have to eventually dive down and plant. We'll see if he decides to peek early, but how are they going to clear this out unless they molly it?
Flamesy already here to support it, so they seem very well aware at 8 seconds left. Oh, he stops
right
the
on
bomb.
The money.
Chopper's gonna be desperate to pick that back up. Can't now, needs kills, and Mezzy just will not give it to him. Nowhere to be found here for Chopper. Time expires.
And Mezzy comes hunting. Chopper gets into the smoke, though, and gets away. Oh, no, he got him.
Died after time.
He got him after time. Bad goes to worse.
Salt in the wound.
That is a nightmare spot to be in if you're a Spirit. And again, they get 5v4s, but what I meant to say was they got material back, and then they also got positional advantage all in one kill. That's not the first time that Vitality have done this. Flamesy getting the frag out event, and also in the same moment, dropping down to make sure he takes care of lower sight. Two things needed to happen there to really win back the whole situation of the round, and they found these sort of brilliant moves over and over again between these two maps, and it feels like these 5v4s are just not that important. Not when Vitality are so aware of what to do next.
Quick reminder as well that playing on Underdog's real easy, folks. You choose higher or lower on your favorite Counter-Strike players and win real cash. Never as much money as what Vitality's made in the last month, but you can try.
Yeah, that'll be a hard one to beat.
And speaking of money, limited here for Spirit.
Feels like the final nails are being put in.
Long-range spray down here for Donk. He's looking for any fight he can get. He's testing smokes, he's testing timings, and his teammates will do the same thing over towards ramp, but Rock's critical position cleared out by Zontix at least as Apex is burned away from supporting. And that one AK is still out there on the field.
Yeah, we got Flamesy now. He's actually surrounded, doesn't know it. He's gonna hear this glass get popped open. He's in a safe spot though with Decon behind him.
Doesn't really have to worry about sight just yet. He can maintain the secret control so that the numbers on the bomb site aren't bolstered. Not yet. Donk does get his chance. Strikes down Zywoo. That could be huge here. Chopper's just playing with Flamesy, and you can see how worried about it he is. Feels like instead, Vitality will have to emphasize this ramp approach. But Mezzy's here. Two sets of hands over towards Secret. Apex up close. Tech-9'd out of the round. And a moment here for Spirit that could still go south. You've got a double peek from the double doors, but a gun back in the hands of the ramp man. Zontix tries to challenge, and now you suddenly see Vitality want out. Chopper's been able to find his. And so well done by Donk and Chopper to keep that attention drawn. Well done by Spirit to keep this game going.
Absolutely, it was a team effort right there. What a steal. And Mezzy ends up dying in the end too. Nowhere to hide with that low HP. Not with how lethal the bomb is these days. Zontix will save this M4 forward at the very least. This is also a round that they win with a tempo because they were saving. Just came through with a half buy. And it's beautiful frags across the map. I mean, this is where they're meeting Vitality where they are, in the sense that it's these complicated defaults Vitality seem to have full control over. Well, here's Spirit showing that they can do the same thing. They're not through it quite yet, though. Just survive this force, and this half will feel a whole lot better. Oh, it's actually nuts how much Vitality needed that to keep their economy up.
Oof. Missed chance for ZywOo, but he's still, oh, never mind. Exposed to Shiro. Trying to crawl into the cover, not allowed. And a fast swarm of Spirit players into Garage. Control the situation. This is what it's all about.
Oh, he got that.
The fact Apex finds one as 4 float around him. But it still feels like this one comes up Spirit. Chopper bringing that bomb to join forces. We hit 50 seconds. As long as they don't play with a dangerous element of that clock.
I mean, they're on the perimeter of the map entirely, right? At the moment, they're all in safe positions, but the time is going to bleed down if they keep these spots. And I think there's an aura about Vitality right now. Low numbers hasn't been a problem. They've always been the right spot. But Spirit are moving in right now. It's a good time. Flamesy here, he gets caught off guard, and they should be safe. Nice call with conviction here from Spirit. Again, that's a moment where I would fully expect them to take a little too much time because they're scared they don't see enough people, but the leadership is there.
Clean. This is how they want to keep it. Vitality maintain a lead, but they are within range. Spirit keeping an eye on them as they convert this with 4 standing.
I think Spirit for the first time can actually take a breath after this round. This is a full force.
Of course.
That is... They nerfed that, Rops. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Just one more for the road. Still majority stand here. Makes up for Chopper dying after time.
See if they have any investment at all. What kind of round Spirit are going to come into this one with.
Vitality splurge on a flashbang.
Looks like they're going to split up quite evenly. 2 ramp, 2 upper. Anticipating a longer default. Wow, man, they're all in lobby. This is what you want, actually, if you're coming in from the CT side.
You just kill for a little more money. Maybe one more 5-7 in the mix. There we go. It's a bloodbath on the A site. ZywOo, of course, if anyone will. Then even hits the follow-up dink on Magix, but it is Apex from a vent that is yet to be busted open. He announces himself to everybody and okay. No way. No way.
3 kills. That's 15 grand down by the USP from Apex. A round they had 1 flash coming into.
I fail to believe it.
I can't believe that either.
What is this?
I mean, it was crazy because there was still no way he was going to be able to win this round, but how did he ever get more than 1?
A lack of head armor on Zontix maybe sets that up because there was no assist there.
And the economy damage is the most important part about that.
Whoa, that gives you the heebie-jeebies if you're Spirit.
Spirit's the only one, or Shiro's the only one who has a little extra. Oh man, Mezzy moved up quickly.
Confident and ahead of the timing. Okay, cashes him off on his own. Double kill from Mezzy, just instantly reels back into that bomb site. Sets them up wonderfully in round 19.
Round 19 for 11 rounds here. Staring down the barrel of a 2-0. We've seen Spirit come back in a lot of disadvantaged situations. Haven't seen too many of those from Spirit, mostly from Vitality. And Mezzy wants even more.
They're going to test him. Third one just as easy. This man has taken 25 damage in the process, kills the majority of Spirit on his own. There was nobody to help him, no util to set it up. Just Mezzy in the pocket.
Just great shooting.
And that has Spirit instantly licking their wounds and walking away.
Oh man, that's disappointing. Oh, they just got mowed down by one young Brit.
Round 19 will conclude with a whimper. And what a testament to this new tale of Vitality that Mezzy, yet again in a critical moment, puts forth just the best version of himself that we have ever had the privilege of seeing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if this ends up being the streak here, Vitality, but it's rare that we get days like this. And, you know, the best players in the world and the best teams in the world are at the cynosure of every conversation on our scene, and for good reason. It's been 6 years since Liquid set their streak in CSGO in MR15. Here we are in CS2, and the viability of consistency has been under question since the game's inception. Many pros have even stated that they can't even believe in the game itself for that reason. But beyond all the arguments and conversations and theorizing about the viability of our new format, records like this potential streak are the ultimate proof. The undeniable proof. Vitality are here to prove that there isn't a cap to the level of ability one team can bring at the top level of CS. The reason we have trophies and streaks and eras is for rewarding teams that show us the ceiling of the game. That's something no one else can do, and we are lucky to be able to witness that when these records take place.
Etched into the history books is the goal today. A chest of accolades, and still a reason to continue to get better. Wall of smoke for Dunk to play behind. But there's got to be a certain level of timidness as defeat is around every corner and Magic's tagged down to half. ZywOo tries his hand at the spam. We get Vitality shuffling players lower. Flamesy's done a great job already of maintaining this portion of the map. And the beauty of Vitality is there is little hesitation. This round no different. They'll smoke it off and bolster that line in the sand.
Perfect teamwork at every stage of the round. And here, the clock has bled down already to 35 seconds. Apex knows that they were likely about to come back, but they go by his vision. Low on HP at the moment. Man, Spirit are not in a good position at this moment. 24 seconds, and they have to pick a site still.
The bones are rattling here as the nervousness sinks in. You've got 15 seconds to get on that site. So Magix just starts to sprint it in, but you've got ZywOo to hold you back. Magix is the solution for now, but cut off by Rops. Again, Vitality have been so ready for that hit.
This team has them so scared they can't even make a choice now. Even with the open map, this one runs out of time.
Hunt them down.
And this is how Vitality get 12.
3 stand after the clock, and all 3 move those guns forward. But there's one team that's playing for a win and another that's playing not to lose.
Oh, this is, yeah, the team that now suddenly, for the first time, appears not to have an answer. We haven't seen that up until this point. That is the level that Vitality bring. And this could be their final stand. 2 Tech 9s. 2 rifles and an op on Shiro. Mixed grenades here for Spirit on round 21.
Another approach to outside, but we saw Apex walk into this map with swagger on his attack. Whether there were teammates behind him or not, and he will continue to have this confidence as Vitality have effectively muzzled Donk throughout this series. Content to play within that risk is Rops. Not a test for the silent cross. There it is. contact made. Hand shown here by Spirit with multiple bodies at it. If you want to try to rinse and repeat and just do the last round faster, I understand. You've got another opening, but what you don't have is the opening frag that comes with that. ZywOo drops one. Donk's alive. Flamesy hesitates here on ladder, rightfully so. He plays with him as Apex slips into control. Shiro, it is a missed shot, and it is pressure thrown forward by the captain, but an answer here for Spirit.
Okay.
They test the waters on both ends, and they will find themselves one step closer towards overtime.
Yeah, just as you said, it was last round, but a bit faster this time for Spirit. They grabbed 9 off of it, and they survive having to come in with 2 Tech 9s. Key frags from Donk, and you could see the bloodthirst in his eyes, wanting to take every duel. Even stepping into that first molly, I think there was a 10% chance in his head he saw anything for that peak. But he's starting to get impatient. And when we say that doesn't go down without a fight with Donk, we mean it. Every single day we see this guy play Counter-Strike. He takes matters into his own hands.
Terrorists win.
He goes out of prep all the time. His team's always ready to support him with utility, and they allow an environment where he can take risks that work for Spirit. But this is just a 1 round and a good kill from Magix as well, and they're going to need even more of that if they're going to actually make this comeback take place.
Could end in an instant. But they'll continue to try to push the limits. And Rops remains squirrely. A change up in a spot with a huge responsibility over on that ramp. We've seen him boosted and successfully hold back pistols. But that lobby setup looks primed to test him. He's got no grenades to do it. And yet again, for the 3rd consecutive round, we have Spirit sniffing out a route downstairs. Rops has unlocked this new world for Vitality. A team that chased wins back in 2024 now banks on him in this moment, and he will mow down 2. Chopper with the bomb has gotten through. Both captains still alive. And 2 players for Spirit down to this B-bomb site. Shiro out here on the prowl has missed timing versus Apex, who opts not to give away his hand,
And
but
Mezzi.
rather take sweet time.
Yeah, Mezzi's got a few moments before he gets over to ramp.
Shiro doubles back and Chopper swings. A